So this is my summary for the chapter 10. It's all about application layer. Application such as web browser, online gaming, chatting, and emailing friends enable us to send and receive data with relative ease. Typically, we can access and use this application without knowing how they work. However, for a network professional, it is important to know how an application is able to format, transmit, and interpret messages that are sent to receive across the network. Visualizing the mechanism that enables communication across the network is made easier if we use the layered framework of the OSI model. So, application layer. The application layer is closer to the end user. It is the layer that provides the interface between the application used to communicate and the underlying network over which messages are transmitted. Application layer protocols are used to exchange data between the programs running on the source and destination host. The upper three layers of OSI model application, presentation, and session define function of the single TCP/IP application layer. There are many application layer protocol and network protocols are always being developed. Some of the most widely known application layer protocol include Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTP, File Transfer Protocol or FTP, Trivial File Transfer Protocol or TFTP, and Message Access Protocol or IMAP, and the Domain Name System or DNS Protocol. Presentation and session layer. The presentation layer has three primary functions. It is for formatting or presenting data at the source devices into a compatible form for recipient by the destination devices, compressing data into the ways that can be decompressed by destination devices, encrypted data before transmission, and decrypting data upon receipt. The session layer, as the name implies, function at the session layer, create and maintain dialogue between source, destination, application layer. The session layer handles the exchange of information to initiate dialogues, keep them active, and to restart sessions that are disrupt or idle for a long period of time. TCP/IP application layer protocol. The TCP or IP application layer or application protocol specify the format that and control information necessary for many common internet communication functions. Application layer protocols are used by both the source and destination devices during the communication session. For the communication to be successful, the application layer protocols implemented on the source and destination hosts must be compatible. In the client server model. So, the client server model. In the client server model, the device is requesting the information to is called a client and the device responding to the request calls a server. Client and server process are considered to be in the application layer. The client begins the exchange by requesting data from the server, which responds by sending one or more stream of data to the client. Application layer protocol describe the format of the request and responses between client and server. In addition to the actual data transfer, this exchange may also require user authentication and the identification of data file to be transferred. One example of the client-server network is using the ISP's email service to send, receive, and store email. The email client on a home computer issues a request to the ISP's email service for an readable, or unread mail. The server responds by sending the request email to the client. Peer-to-peer network. In peer-to-peer or P2P network model, the data is accessed from peer devices without the use of dedicated server. The P2P network models involve two parts, the P2P networks and the P2P application. Both parts have similar features but in practice work quite differently. In P2P network, two or more computers are connected via the network and can share resources such as printers and files without having dedicated server. Every connected end devices, known as peer, can found as both a server and client. One computer might assume the role of the server for one transaction while simultaneously serving a client for another. The role of client and server um, are set as a per request basis. Peer-to-peer application. The P2P application allows the devices to act both a client and server with the same next communication. In this model, every client is a server and every server is a client. P2P application requires that each end devices provide user interface and run background services. Some P2P applications use a hybrid system where resource sharing is decentralized, but the indices that point to resources location are stored in the centralized directory. In a hybrid system, each peer access as index server to get the location of the source stored on another peer. So, about the chapter 10 application layer, the application layer is responsible for directing, accessing, and the underlying process that manage delivery of communication to human network. This layer serves as the source and destination of the communication across data network. The application layer application services and protocols enables user to interact with the data network in way that is meaningful and effective. Application are computer programs with which the user interacts and with initiate data transfer at the user request. Services are background programs that provide the connection between the application layer and the lower layer of the networking models. Um, Protocol provide the structure of a grid upon request and processes ensure services running on one particular device can send and receive data from the range of different network devices. All of these elements work together at the application layer. The application layer enables user to work and play over the internet. So this is all about the application, the chapter 10, the application layer.